Today, let's talk about sales. Sales seems to be the one thing that terrifies absolutely everybody. It doesn't matter who you are or what your niche is, sales seems to be the hardest part. And if you're a medic coming into the aesthetic world where you are no longer dealing with patients, you are dealing with consumers, selling can be quite daunting. What you need to do is you need to treat selling like giving. So you're not trying to push a product or a service on anybody. What you're trying to do is you're trying to answer a problem. You're trying to give somebody a solution to a problem that they have. This is how you're going to get your sales off the ground and running. Before we really begin, I want to offer you our free gift, which is how to get more clients in through your doors as quickly as possible. And we have our free gift below. You just pop us over your email address and we will send it out to you, and it will just help you kickstart your campaign to get people in through your doors and get you practicing aesthetics as soon as possible. Also, if you are very new to the world of beginning your own business, so this would be more for nurses if they're setting up, oftentimes doctors or dentists might have their own practice and they are branching out into the aesthetic world, which is very different, but it's not the same as starting from scratch, which a lot of nurses, if they're coming from a ward or they're coming from a GP practice or a private practice, they can be a bit overwhelmed with setting up their new business. If you want to go over to my website, which is learn.thebusinesslounge247.com, and I have a form to fill out there, and it's just your email address. You're just giving us your email address, so I can send you on out how to build your business in a weekend, and it will just give you some ideas as to what you can do to get started and get your business off the ground as quickly as possible. It's all free. All of my information here is free. So please jump on board. You've nothing to lose except gaining more insight into how to grow your business. As I've said before, selling is basically just giving. If you act like you are giving a solution to a problem, that is your sales done. When you come in from that sleazy used car salesman mentality of trying to push something that you don't believe in, then you're never going to sell. I used to host a really expensive product line, and my niche market would never have been high end. They would have been the average nurse, person working in a shop, or this was my client base. They weren't ridiculously high end, Wall Street clients, so I wasn't charging premium prices. So when I brought in a premium product, although I believed in it, I in good conscience I couldn't offer it to my clients, and I never sold it because the guilt of trying to push something that was very, very expensive outweighed the benefit for me. And it's funny because that was my self-limiting mindset. The truth is, it's insulting of me to ever think that somebody can't afford my product or what I'm selling. That's actually me being incredibly insulting by pigeonholing a client. So, but I really did believe in the product. I just didn't believe in the price. And this is where you have to believe in the entire package in order to sell it. So, for example, if you have a client who comes to you with severe acne, their problem is usually that they will not be able to cover their spots in makeup. They feel maybe low self-esteem. They don't want to go out of their house. They don't leave the house without layers of makeup on, which of course will exacerbate the situation because they are blocking all their pores in heavy makeup in order to go out and face the world. So their problem is their low self-esteem due to their appearance and their fear of being judged and their fear of not presenting their best self to the world because of their acne. This is what you target. That is the problem, and your solution will be your treatment. So what is your treatment? Are you going to go straight down the medication route? If you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, are you going to go down the high-end products and give a full tailored prescription regime for them to use in their own home in order to get the optimum results and to get the best skincare possible? This is your product. This is what you're giving them. You're giving them a solution to their problem. What you need to do is judge it from I'm giving you an answer to your problem, and I will take a fee for that. And that changes the way you sell completely. It takes the sleaziness away, that icky feeling. It takes the, the disbelief in yourself, in your abilities to sell. It just basically takes the snake oil salesman vibe away from whatever you're selling, because you're actually answering a problem. You're actually creating a solution for the person who's coming to you for your expertise. The more information you give your clients as well, the more they'll believe you. They'll trust in your ability, they'll trust in your understanding, in your level of knowledge, in your experience. The more you can talk them through what's going on and what the products will do or what the medication will do, using that as an example. Once people trust in you, they will trust your solution and you have a sale. You have to be confident in your ability to give your information. You have to be competent in your knowledge. You have to believe in your treatment. You can't just sell anything to anyone. Well, you can, but that will make you a snake oil salesman. You have to genuinely believe in what you're selling, and you're not just selling for the sake of selling. I have never been successful in selling things I didn't believe in. I've never been successful in I've lost a lot of money by going, oh, I'll give this a go, I'm sure someone will benefit, and not doing my research. It is very, very important that you know what you're selling and you know who your target is, and you understand the problem and you understand the solution, and you're confident in its ability to work. People will always buy with emotion. They don't buy with the rational side of their brain ever. And oftentimes when they're out and they're searching for a product, it is to fulfill a need, and that need is always driven by urgency, and you have the answer to the problem. You can solve that need. So this is where you come in with your confidence, with your education, with your understanding, and you can offer them a solution to their problem. And this is where selling is no longer selling. It is you offering your expertise in a situation that you know quite a lot about and you're experienced in. Remember also that people buy people. People don't buy bots. They don't buy, they need to feel like they are heard and understood and they're related to. So you can often give anecdotal evidence or a story of what you've been through in order to, that you understand where they're coming from. You understand the upset, and if it's acne, just say, go with that. That you understand how limiting it is, that their confidence is so low and they feel like they can't leave their house, and you want to make that better. You believe that they deserve a better life because you've been there, you've experienced it, and this can be a broad range of things you can relate to, and as long as you can draw on an emotion that they're explaining that you feel you've felt, you can relate to the person, and they will feel heard and seen, and they will trust your judgment and trust your expertise and buy from you. Stories are a great way of building confidence and building trust, and be it stories of personal experience or stories from like a previous patient, like your expertise, your past experiences, all of this is what builds your confidence in selling, because you've seen it before, and it also builds people's trust in you because you've seen it before. This can be very difficult from a doctor's perspective. When the hierarchy is imbalanced, there is a doctor-patient barrier there that they're so used to working with. Dentists can be the same. Nurses tend to relate more to the patients because they are, patient focused oftentimes with their care, and they're one-on-one. They would have a much bigger scope, whereas doctors and dentists are finding a solution to a problem, to a medical problem, whereas nurses kind of tend to get this a bit more, being relatable. Being relatable is what's going to change how you manage your now consumers and not your patients. It is a very different way of communicating. It can be refreshing because it allows you to be open and a little bit honest and have a nice, pleasant conversation. It can also be daunting because you might show a side of yourself that you have never shown to a patient, in which you need to be in an authoritative position. It can be it can be quite nice to have that change of dynamic in work, most likely when you've never had it before. These are the pros to working in aesthetics and your patients becoming your consumers, or customers buying from you as opposed to needing you. It can be a lovely change of environment for you in your profession. So do remember to just be relatable, to offer your expertise and be trustworthy. And don't peddle anything. Believe in whatever you're selling. When you believe in your product or your service, you will gain their trust and you will sell far more. Once people trust your ability and your education and how you deliver your sales pitch, for want of a better word, that is when you are going to get most of your sales. And also remember, you are not selling, you are solving a problem. That's what we do. As business owners, we solve people's problems. That's how we have a business. So all businesses are the exact same, and don't stress about the sales pitch. It's not that hard. It's quite lovely because you are making someone's life easier, and that's the joy of what you're doing. And just think, if selling is your Everest, you're doing okay. You're not in the worst position because you will sell your product. You know what you're doing. You know how to get your name out there. Just watch our video on how to get your product or your service in your target market's hands. And the only way is up. Just be yourself, be honest, be relatable, and believe what you're selling. And